Okay, so welcome everyone to today's lesson. My name is Tutor Poul from IQ Academy, and today we are solving questions in Math Tutor Sheet 3. Okay, so for a start, I'll just solve question 1 for you guys. I'll try to solve all the questions there. Okay. All right, so question 1 is on what we call as inequalities. Okay, so meaning we have the less than sign, the greater than, greater or equal to, less than or less than or equal to. Okay, so whenever you have inequalities, okay, there's a specific approach that you should use in solving your questions. Okay, so we'll be seeing those different approaches as I will be solving these questions. Okay, so the first one there is very simple. It's just a linear inequality because we see that in this question here, we don't have any squared. Okay, so it's linear. So the first question there, they're saying, let's go to the board here. So we are on A, question 1. They're saying 8x plus 2 is greater than x plus 7. Okay, so we are solving this question, meaning that we are finding the x values that apply to this inequality. Okay, so what we see here is that we just need to put like terms together. So this 8x, then this x here will cross and then it will come to this side, so it will be x is greater than, okay, and then 7, then this guy here goes to the other side, so it will be minus 2, right? Okay, and then 8 minus x, it will just be 7x, is greater than 7 minus 2 is just 5. Okay, so we want x, so we are going to divide by 7 on both sides like that. So meaning we are going to have x is greater than what? 5 over what? 7. Okay, so this is our answer on A. And then we go to B, okay? What does B state and what type of question is it? Okay, so this B here is a quadratic inequality, okay? Because I can see x to the power 2 there. So this is quadratic. So how do you handle a quadratic inequality? Okay, so remember that a quadratic gives us what? 2 answers, right? Okay, it gives us 2 answers. So depending on the symbol of the quadratic that you have, okay, it will tell you, or it will help you find out what answers you are going to have. Okay, so if you're solving a quadratic equation, right, it means you're going to have something like this, 2 factors. Let me just write like that. Okay, so depending on the sign that you have here, it will determine how your answers are going to look like. Okay, so if you have a less than here, it means your answers are going to look like this. Okay, so you get these 2 factors here, and then you solve for x. Okay, you get those 2 factors, you solve for x. So here I can see x minus a. So when I solve for x there, I'll just have what? A as my answer. Then here, when I equate this to 0, okay, and then I solve for x, I'm going to have what? Minus b. Okay, so these ones here are the answers to this quadratic, factorized quadratic equation, right? I'm just giving you the general approach here. Of course, here you have to have 0. So if the sign that you have here is a less than, it means of these 2 answers, okay, of these 2 answers, you're going to put x in the middle, and then you're going to write 2 less than signs, okay, and then you're going to put the bigger number of these 2 answers here and the smaller number there. So the bigger number here is A because it's positive, then the smaller number is what? B. So this one here is going to be what? Your answer or a range of values because it's an inequality. Okay, so what if we had a less than or equal to? So if you have less than or equal to, your answers will still take this shape. So you're going to say less than or equal to x, less than or equal to, you put the bigger number here, and then the smaller number there. Okay, and then what if, okay, here we did not have this less than guy, okay, so let's say we had a greater than. Okay, how should we answer that? Yeah, where's my board now? Okay, so if If here, okay, we had a greater than like this, it means your answers will look different from this. Okay, so remember this one here is for when you have a less than, this one less than or equal to. So if you have a greater than in your equation, it means your answer is going to be look like this. So um, it will be x, okay, greater than the bigger number of these two answers that you're going to find. So which means A, and then you're going to say or x is less than the what? The smaller number, which is the B. So whenever you have a greater than here, your answer should take this form, okay? What if you have a greater than or equal to? It's the same as this, okay? So your x should be greater than or equal to the bigger number of these two, and then you're going to say or x, okay, should be less than or equal to the what? The smaller number. Okay, so if I have greater than or equal to, it means it will take one of these forms here. So it's very important to know these forms, okay? So now let's go to our question and then try to solve it. And then we see what we are going to have. Okay, so B, we have 2 x squared plus 7x minus 15 is less than what? 0. Okay, so we can already see here, because we have a less than here, it means your answers will be in a closed interval like that. Okay, x will be between these inequality signs, just like we had here. Okay, so now let's factorize this. So let's factorize it in the normal way. We find the product, the factor, and the sum. Okay, so the product is what? Is 30 minus 30. So this is 30 here. And then okay, so this is 30, and then the sum is 7, and then now we are looking for two numbers. So we are looking for two numbers such that when we add them, they give us minus 8. When we add them, they give us a 7. Okay, and then when we multiply them, they give us a what? They give us minus 8. Okay, so let's try to look for factors here. Okay, so what can be okay, so we see that the factors here will just be minus 3 and 10. Okay, so let's put them here. So we're going to say 2x squared, we can say plus 10x, okay, minus 3x, and then minus 15. Okay, and then here we can put an equal sign. Okay, so we'll consider this sign at the end. Okay, so here we can group these and then we factorize them. So we can group this guy and that guy, that guy and that guy. So here you see that what is common is the 2x. Then you have your x plus 5. And then here what is common is the minus 3. And then you have your x plus 5. Okay, and we are saying this is equal to 0. Okay, so it means we have two factors. These ones here that are same, that are similar, okay, and this one that is outside. So you're going to have 2x minus 3, and then x plus 5 is equals to 0, okay? So from here, we are going to get that if I get this and I equate it to 0, okay, I have 2x minus 3 is equals to 0, which will just be 2x is equals to what? 3. So this will be 2, x is equals to 3 over what? 2. And then from here, it will just be x. This should be x plus 5 is equals to 0. So it will be x is equals to what? Minus 5. Okay, so this is our second answer. So you ask yourself now, between the two answers that you've gotten there, which one is bigger and which one is what? Smaller. Okay, so we see that this guy here is bigger than this guy here. Okay. Okay, so now we want to write the final answer. So remember, in this question, we had the what? A less than here. So if you have a less than, it means your solution should be in this form here. Okay, so we are going to put x in the middle, then the bigger number there and the smaller number there. So we are going to say x less than, greater than. Okay, the smaller number is minus 5. Then the bigger number is what? 3 over 2. So this one here is your answer to that quadratic equation. If you want, you can represent it in an interval. So this will just be from 5 without including the 5 all the way to 3/2 without including the 3/2. Okay, so that's how you handle that. And then let's look at C. Okay, so C, we have 3x minus 4 minus 6, x plus 6, and then x minus 2 is greater than or equal to what? To 0. Okay, so let's first simplify this equation that we've been given. Okay, so we have 3x minus 4. Okay, and then minus x plus 6, x minus 2 is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so let's expand here. We're going to have 6x minus 8 minus, okay, and then here let's multiply these two. So x multiplied by x will just be x squared. X multiplied by minus 2, it will be minus 2x. 6 multiplied by x, it will be plus 6x. And then 6 multiplied by minus 2, it will be minus 12. Okay, greater than or equal to what? To 0. So from here now we have 6x minus 8 minus x squared, and then plus 2x. So I'm multiplying by this negative here. So minus 6x, and then plus what? 12 is greater than or equal to what? To 0. Okay, so from here, let's put like terms together. Okay, so I have a positive 6x here, and then minus 6x. So meaning this is going to cancel this. Okay, and then I have minus x squared plus 2x. Okay, and then what is minus 8 plus 12? We're going to get a plus 4, which is greater than or equal to what? To 0. Okay, so now let's always make your quadratic a positive. So make sure that whatever number you have in front of the x squared should always be positive, right? So if we divide all this, okay, by a minus 1, we're going to have x squared minus 2x minus 4, okay? And because you've divided by a minus 1, it means this sign here has to change, okay? So it will face the other side and then 0. Okay, so this means this is our quadratic equation now. So we can solve it in the normal way and then apply the rules for the what? For the final solutions, okay? So let's find the product, the factor, and our sum. Okay, so what is our product? Our product is 1 multiplied by this minus 4, which is minus 4. Our sum is minus 2. Definitely the factors will be, what will be the factors here? I think this one won't have factors. I think we don't have factors, unless otherwise. Yeah, it does have factors. So we use the formula method, okay, or completing the square, whichever you want. So let's use formula method. It means our A will be 1, our B will be minus 2, our C will be what? Minus 4. Okay, so formula method, X is equals to minus B, okay? So minus B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus what? 4ax. And we're dividing all this by 2a. Okay, so let's find, so minus B, so meaning minus and this minus 2, we are going to get 2 plus, and then here B squared will just be 4 minus 4, 1, then minus 4. Okay, so this is under the roots, and then we are dividing all this by 2a. A is 1, so this is just the same as 2. So x is this, right? Okay, and then from here, let's simplify whatever we have under the root. So we have 4 minus 4 multiplied by minus 4, which will give me a positive 16. So it means I have a 20 there under the root. So it means my x will just be equals to 2 plus or minus the square root of 20. And then we're dividing this by what? By 2. So meaning that, we have, okay, so did we find our equation properly here? Maybe we made a mistake somewhere. Okay, x squared okay, so if there's a mistake, please comment in the comment section. Okay, so this is what we have, right? So we are going to have 2 plus root of 20 divided by 2, or we're going to have 2 minus root of 20 divided by what? By 2. So these here are the two answers, guys. Okay, so one of them is this, the other one is x is equals to this. Okay, so now you ask yourself, which one between these two answers is bigger than the other? So because here we are adding 2 to this, we are going to say this one here is bigger. And then this one is what? Is smaller, because we're subtracting here, right? Okay, and then from there, we can from there we can go back to the general form. Okay, so you check first the sign that you had in your quadratic equation that has a positive sign here. Never use the one with a negative here. Okay, so the sign that we have with a quadratic equation with a positive here is what? Less than or equal to. So meaning our answers should be in this form: x less than or equal to, less than or equal to. So smaller number and then bigger number. So we see that this is going to be x less than or equal to a bigger number, 2 plus the root of 20 divided by 2. Then the smaller number will just be 2 minus the root of 20 divided by 2. So this one here is our answer, guys. Okay, so that's how you go about it. Okay, so now let's go to question D. Okay, let's go to question D, which has a different aspect to it because there is the modulus there. Okay, so D here we have the modulus of x minus 3 divided by x minus 4 is less than 4. So find the values of x that can work in that function. Okay, so the first thing to understand is that whenever I write a modulus like this, okay, it means I'll have two answers from this guy here. I'll have a positive answer, okay, if x is greater than or equal to 0, okay, and then I'll have a minus x if x is what? Less than 0. So you have to understand that from the modulus, you always have what? Two values, okay? So now, when a modulus is, when you have something, okay, and then it's equated to something, or there's an equal, there's an inequality sign, okay, and then there's a number on the other side. It means that you first of all have to take the same thing the way it is, okay, and then the other one you have to include a negative on either side that you want. Okay, so this is what I mean. So if I have modulus of x is equals to 5, okay, so it means for me to solve this equation, I'm going to take the first one the way it is, x is equals to 5, and then the second one, which covers for this negative one here, is going to be x is equals to 5, and then you can add a negative on either side, okay, or at whichever side that you want. Okay, so if you want, you can just add the negative here. If you want, you can add it there. Okay, so meaning that here x will be equals to what? Minus what? 5. All right, so that's what you get from the modulus. So from here, we're going to have 2. Okay, the first one will be the way it is, and then the other one will have one of its counterpart having a negative there. Okay, so let's solve it. So we have x minus 3, and then x minus 4 modulus greater than or equal to 4. Okay, so the first equation here is going to be this, the way it is. Okay, minus 4, then less than or equal to what? 4. So you have to solve this one here. So this one will be your first equation that you're going to solve. Okay, and then the other one will be, so we can put the negative on this side. So it will be x minus 3, x minus 4, less than or equal to what? Minus 4. Okay, so always if you have a modulus, it means two things come out from that modulus. Okay, so we are going to solve this one separately, even this one separately. and then we are going to intersect their answers. Okay, so the answer that I get here, I'm going to intersect with the answer that I'll get here. Why? Because here I have a less than, okay? Or if you have a less than or equal to, it means once you find two separate answers here, you have to intersect them. And then if here I had a greater than or equal to, it means once you find the separate answers, then you unionize them. You get the difference, okay? So if it's greater than or equal to, once you find the individual answers to this one and this one, you unionize them. And then if it's less than or equal to, once you find the individual answers to this and this one, you have to what? Intersect them. So let's find this guy here. So one notice is that when you're solving inequalities, never cross multiply, okay? Never cross multiply. That's a red flag, okay? Never cross multiply. There's no cross multiplication in inequalities, okay? Whereby we do, since here, let me show it. So since here, I see that this, and then I say cross multiply, this multiplied by this, one multiplied, never, okay? It doesn't exist in inequalities. You always have to solve by the graph box that I'm going to show you, okay, or the sign graph. Okay, so how can we solve this one here? We're going to write it this way, x minus 4, and then this 4 here comes on the left-hand side, so it will be minus 4 is less than or equal to what? 0. Okay, I think let me solve them simultaneously here so that you can see what will be happening. Okay, so this one will be minus 4 less than or equal to what? 0. And then the other one, I'll be solving it this side. It will be this, x minus 4. And then this minus here just comes that side, okay? So it will be plus 4 now here. Then less than or equal to what? 0. So let's find the common denominator for this guy. You put 1, so common denominator here will just be x minus 4, and then 1 outside, okay? So x minus 4 into this, just 1, so it will be x minus 3. 1 into this is this whole lot of thing here, but we have a minus 4 there, so it will be minus 4 x minus 4 less than or equal to what? To 0. Okay, and then let's simplify it. So this will be x minus 3 minus 4x, and then plus minus 4 and minus 4, it is 16, divided by x minus 4 less than or equal to what? 0. So this will be x minus, okay, minus 4x, which will be minus 3x. And then 16 minus 3, it will be plus 13. Okay, and then this will be under 4 minus what? X minus 4 is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so this is nice here because from here we can get the critical values and then we can come up with a sign graph. Okay, but before we do that, let's also simplify this. So this will be over 1. As usual, you have your x minus 4, 1, less than or equal to 0. This one into this one is to give us this guy here. Then plus 4. Then 1 into this, which is just this guy here. So we have x minus 4. Let's expand here. So if we expand, we have x minus 3 plus 4x minus 16 over x minus 4 is less than or equal to what? To 0. So from here, we see that x plus 4x is just going to be what? 5x. Then minus 3 minus 16, it will be minus 19 here, divided by x minus 4 is is less than or equal to what? To 0. So now let's find the critical values from here. Let's find the critical values from here. Okay. So by critical values, I just mean we get those factors that you can see, then we equate them to 0 and then solve for x. So if I get the one that is on top, it will be minus 3 plus 13 is equals to 0. Okay, and then I solve for x. So from here, we see that I'm going to get what? This will be minus x is equals to minus 13. Then divide by minus 3 on both sides, you're going to have x is equals to 13 over 3. So 13 over 3, it's 4 point something. Okay, then the one that is down here, we see that it's just going to be x is equals to what? To 4. So these are the critical points for this part here on the left. And then on the right, we have 5x minus 19 should be equals to 0. So this will be 5x is equals to what? 19. Then divide by 5 both sides, you're going to get x is equals to 19 over 5. Okay, and then the other one will be x is equals to, okay, so 5 into 19, it's 3 point something, right? It's 3.9. So that one will be less than 4. So 19 divided by 5, 3.8. Okay, and then the one that is down here is just x minus 4. We equate it to 0. So for x, we're going to get 4. Okay, so now we have these critical points. So this is the left side, and then this is the right, right? So we draw a table for this left side. We also draw a table for the what? For the right side. So we are going to say, let me separate it like this. So a table is going to be like this. Okay. So you're going to put those two factors here, and then we are going to test them. Okay, so we can say that the other factor, then the other box there is for the overall results. Okay, and then, okay, so in here we are going to put the first one, which is minus 3 plus 13. And then in the other one, I'm going to put x minus 4. So here now we are going to put these factors here in order. So I said this one here, 13 over 3, it's 4 point something. So meaning it's point something. It's greater than this 4. So it means I have a 4 somewhere there, and then I have a 13 over 3 somewhere there. Okay, I think let me change the color here. So we have 3 regions to test. Okay, we have this region that is less than 4. Then we have this region that is between 4 and 13 over 3. Okay? And then we have that region that is above what? 13 over 3. Okay? So between 4 and 4 point something, what number can we choose? Okay? So 13 over 3, when you punch it into the calculator, it's 4.3333. Okay? So meaning between 4 and the 4.333, we can choose any number that is within that range. Okay, so we can say maybe 4. Okay, so let's choose 4.1 here. It's between this range. And then any number greater than 13, 4.333, we can choose 5. Any number less than 4, we can choose 0. Okay, so now let's test these values here. Okay, so this one is the overall. You write the word overall here. So meaning when you divide these two. So we have 0 where there's x here. So if I put, write the x properly. Okay, so here we have the x like that. So if I put x here, I'm going to have 13, and 13 has a what? A positive sign. So you put a positive there, not the answer, but just a positive. Okay, then you get your calculator, you do this. So you say minus 3. Okay, say minus 3 multiplied by 4.1. Okay, and then plus 13. What are you going to get? I'm getting a positive 0.7. So meaning this one is positive. Then what if I put 3 there? So if I put 5, I mean, so it will be minus 3 multiplied by 5, which is minus 15, right? And then minus 15 plus 13 will just be minus 2. So this one will be minus here. And then let's test this one. If I put 0 here, it will be minus. If I put 4.1 here, 4.1 is greater than 4. So this one will be positive. Then if I put 5 here, it will be positive again. Okay. Then how do you find the overall? You just multiply this. So negative, positive by negative, negative, positive by positive, positive. And then this one is what now? It's negative multiplied by positive. It will be minus. Okay. So in which regions are we interested in? So remember here, we are less than, okay, less than or greater than 0. So we want numbers that are less than 0. So meaning the negative numbers. So the regions which we are interested in here will just be these regions here. So this one here, and then this one. Okay, because they have a negative. Okay? So it means my x values from here, okay, will be all the way from minus infinity to 4. Okay, and then I'm going to say union all the way from this number, the 13/3, which is 4.333, to positive what? Infinity. So these values within these ranges of x here, okay, you can say it's a member, are the ones that are going to work, in this equation. And then we also do for the other one. So this was for the testing for the first one, right? So now we test the other one. So let's test the other one here. Okay, so let's test. So we have 3 boxes there. Okay, so the first one here contains -3 plus 13. And then you have x minus 4. And then you have the over here. You write the word over. Okay, and then we test. So what are the limits here? I have 4, and then this 19/5 is 3.8. Okay, so meaning it's less than this 4. So if I put it in alphabetical order, the 19/5 will be somewhere here, then the 4 will be somewhere. So we have 3 regions again to test. Okay, we have those regions that are less than 19/5. We have those regions that are between 19/5 and 4, and then we have those regions that are above 4, right? So let's pick our testing values here. So any values would work. So if I put my testing value here, put 5 above 4, and then below 3.8, because 19/5 is 3.8. Below 3.8, I'll just put 0. And then between 3.8, okay, and 4, what number can you put? So just choose any number. So 3.9 is between here. So you can use it this one. Okay, so let's test. So if I put 0 here, it means this one here will be positive. Okay, if I put 0 here, it will just be 13, which is positive. Then if I put 3.9 here, okay, so you get your calculator. So you are going to say -3, -3, and then you are multiplying this with 3.9. Okay, you get minus 11.7 on my calculator. Then you're going to say plus 18. So you get a positive value. So this will be positive. Then if I put a 5 there, definitely to be a minus. Okay, so it will be -15 plus 13, which is -2 minus. Let's find for this one to be 0 into this guy. This one will just be minus. Then 3.9, okay, minus 4. So 3.9 is less than 4. So it will be minus number here. Then 5 minus that, it will be positive. Okay. So now, let's calculate these guys here. Okay, let's calculate this guy. So we see that all these regions here are going to be, oh, no. So I'm wondering, here I've used a wrong, I'm supposed to use, I'm not supposed to use -3. I'm supposed to use this one here, 5 minus 19. So I'm wondering why you're finding this. Yeah. Okay, so let's remove this guy. So for this one here, we had 5x plus 19, right? This is what we had, yes. Or minus 19. Okay, right, so. Okay, so minus 19. So if we put 0 here, it means here everything will be negative. So everything changes now, right? Okay. All right. So if we put 0 here, it will be minus here. If we put 3.9, let me put it. So I have a 5 multiplying by 3.9. I'm getting 19.5. Then 19.5 minus 19 to be 0.5, which is positive. So this will be positive. And then if I put 5 there, it will be 5 multiplied by 5, 25. 25 minus 19 to be a positive number, so positive here. Okay, so now let's find the over here. Minus and minus, they will give you positive. This one here to give you minus. This one here to give you what? it will give you positive like that. Okay, so now for this part here of the table, what sign did we have? We also had the what? A less than or equal to. So meaning we are interested in the negative regions on. Okay, so the negative regions here are this guy. Okay, so it means for the x on this right hand side, it should be between 19 over 5 and 4. So 19 over 5 to 4. So these are the range of values for this part here. Okay, but now remember I said when you have a less than or equal to, the final answer that you get, you have to intersect them, right? So we have to intersect this guy here with this guy to get the finals. Okay, so you can draw up a number line like this and then just plot all those points that you can see. Okay, so let's plot them. So you plot them in order. So minus infinity definitely to be at the end, positive infinity on the other end. And then let's put these numbers. Okay, so remember I said this 13 over 3. Okay, so you can put first of all your 0 somewhere. So let's put our 0 here. Okay, because all these numbers are positive. So 13 over 3 was 4.3333. Okay, so if I have my 4 somewhere here, it means my 13 over 3 should be somewhere there. Okay, and then 19.5, actually 19.5 is the lowest, right? Because we said it was 3.8. So it should start here. So 19 over 5, it's 3.8. So it should be the first one to start. And then I have my 4.333, which is 13 over 3. And then I have my 4. Okay, so now let's intersect these guys here. So the first one here, okay, the first one we said it was from minus infinity all the way to what? To 4. Okay, I think I made a mistake here again. Okay, so the 4 is smaller than the 4.333, so it has to be somewhere there. Okay, so 3.84 and then 4.33. Yeah, this one should make sense now. So the first one here we had from minus infinity all the way up to what? To the 4. Then the other one was starting from 4.33, which is the 13 over 3, all the way to the positive infinity. So this is this part here. Okay. Now let me plot the other part in yellow. So let me plot the 19 to 4. Okay, so the 19 to 4 going to be from here all the way up to 4. So where are these green lines and the yellow lines overlapping? Like one is above the other. We see that it is in this region here. Okay, so this region here is going to be our final answer. So you're going to say X is a member of this region from 19 over 5, 4. Yeah, so this one here is our final answer. Okay, you see that the solving is lengthy, right? But you just have to be precise and then follow it step by step. Okay, so it means the X values that will be valid in that will just be from 19 over 5 all the way up to 4. Okay, so that's how we solve that one. And then let's look at E. Okay, so E, it has a double modulus. Okay, and it usually confuses people, but it's very simple. Okay, so I said the modulus, you have, first of all, a positive number, and then the other one will be negative, right? So let's try to solve it. So this is E. We have modulus of X less than or equal to 2x minus 3. Okay, so since this one, they are both modulus, right? So it means both will contain a positive expression and a negative expression. So what are we going to do in this case? Okay, so we are going to write the first one just the way it is like that, just removing the moduluses. So this will be our first equation. And then the other one, we just include a negative on either of these sides. Okay, so we can say x is less than or equal to, Okay, so let me make this one a negative, and then this one will remain the same like that. Okay, so now you have two equations to solve, this one and that one. Okay, if you want, you can put the negative here. It means here to still be positive. So let's solve the first one. So the first one will just be x less than -3. Okay, let me divide. Like terms together. Okay, like terms together. So it will be x minus 2x less than or equal to what? -3. So this means minus x is less than or equal to what? -3. Divide both sides by a negative, so -1, this side -1. So we see that because we've divided by a -1, we're going to get positive x. Because we have divided by a minus, this sign here has to change. So it will be like that. And then here you have a +3. So the first solution there is that x should be greater than what? 3. And then on the other side, we had minus x minus 2x minus 3. So like terms of a minus x minus 2x less than or equal to -3. So this will be minus 3x less than or equal to what? -3. Okay, so let's divide by a minus. Okay, so if I divide by a minus here, divide by a minus there, I'm going to get x is, okay, so since I divided by another, I must change the sign there. Must change the sign there. Okay, so this one becomes greater than or equal to, this would be 1. Okay, and then this one here becomes the second part of what? The solution. So what do we notice from here? Okay, what do we just it? Okay, let me just go through. So we have minus x less than or equal to 3x. Okay, and then I moved the minus. These two, the other side, so -3x, okay, this one I go to -3, okay, and then what do we have from? We have -3 here, x less than okay, so less than -3, and then we divide both sides by -3, even this side -3, we're going to get x is greater than 1. Okay, so and then we proceed. Okay, so when you have your two answers here, then you can test them. You can test them to find out if they are really correct. Okay, so this one here says the x should be greater than or equal to 3. This one says the x should be greater than or equal to 1. So let's test them. So we had x is less than the modulus of 2x minus 3. Okay, so let's get 1 and see if it will work here. So this will be the modulus of 1, which is just 1, less than or equal to. Then here we have 2, 1 minus 3. Okay, so it will be 1 is less than or equal to. So this will be 2 minus 3, which will be -1. And then the modulus of 1 is still 1. So this one works. What if we get 2? So modulus of 2 less than or equal to modulus of 2 minus 3. Okay, so this will be 2 less than or equal to, this will be 4. So 4 minus 3, it's what? 4 minus 3, it's 1. So modulus of 1 is just 1, right? So we see that 2 can never be less than 1, right? So this is a false argument here. So it means this solution here, okay, this solution here, it won't work, okay? It won't work. Then let's try to test x is greater than or equal to 3, right? So we are starting at 3 and then we are going up. So let's start with the same 3. So 3 less than or equal to or greater than, I mean. So here we have 2, 3, then minus 3. So we are going to have 3 less than or equal to. This will be 6 minus 3, which will just be 3. So modulus of 3, indeed, it's equals to this. So this one works. What about if it is 4? Let's get 4. So 4 modulus less than or equal to, this will be 4 minus 3. Okay, so this will be 4 less than or equal to, what we will have here. So this will be 8. So 8 minus 3 to be 5. So modulus of 5 is indeed what? Greater than 4, or 4 is less than 5. So we see that this solution works. Okay, so for the x's that are greater than or equal to 3, a solution exists. But for the x that are greater than or equal to 1, there is no solution. Okay, so we say no solution here. So your answer here will just be x is greater than or equal to what? 3. So this is your answer. Only this one here is the one that works. Okay, and then let's look at, I already solved such equation. So I'm going to go to the last one here, which is G. Okay, so G, what do we have? Okay, so G, we have to consider 2 cases there, okay, because of the presence of the modulus. So we consider 2 cases there. So what do we have there on G? Okay, so on G, this is G now. We have the modulus of 3x minus 5 is greater than or equal to what? 6. So I said when you have a modulus, you have 2 equations to solve. So the first one won't have, it will be the way it is without the moduluses, greater than 6. Then the other one will be 3x minus 5 greater than or equal to minus what? 6. So let's solve and see if we are going to get solutions on both sides. So this one here to be 3x is greater than or equal to 6 plus 5. So 3x is greater than or equal to 11. So meaning x should be greater than or equal to 11 over what? 3. Okay, so this is our first suggested solution. And then here we are going to have 3x greater than or equal to minus 6, the plus, right? So it will be plus 5. So I have 3x greater than or equal to, and then here I have minus 1. So this one here will just be x is greater than or equal to minus 1 over 3. Okay, so these ones here, both solutions here are going to work. Okay, you can test them. So you're going to say the final answer is just x is greater than 1 over 3, or you can say x is greater than 11 over what? 3. Okay, so this one here, these two here, they are going to be your answers for this. Okay, so make sure you test these solutions to see if they work. Just get any number that is greater than these guys, and then you test it in the function. Okay, so that's the end of question 1. I'll continue the other questions later. Okay, so thank you so much, and bye-bye.